Tonight, 3 Christmas stories. Emergency alerts are supposed to be impersonal. Storm warnings, amber alerts, evacuation orders. They never use your name. Until this one did. It happened during a winter cold snap. Temperatures dropped fast, roads iced over, cell towers struggled but stayed online. People were already tense. Then, at 2:13 a.m., phones across multiple states vibrated at once. That sharp, unmistakable sound, the emergency alert tone. The message appeared on screens in bold, government-issued formatting, but instead of a warning, it read, "Do not attempt contact. Subject, Michael R. Turner. Last known location, 1847 Willow Creek Road." Below that, a timestamp. Below that, nothing. Michael Turner was a real person. People knew him. That address belonged to a quiet house in a rural neighborhood. And the people receiving the alert, they weren't emergency responders. They were civilians, neighbors, strangers, people hundreds of miles away. At first, everyone assumed it was a glitch. Someone took a screenshot and posted, "Anyone else get this?" Replies flooded in. Yes, same name, same address. Different states, different carriers, same alert. Someone commented, "Why is it using a full name?" Another asked, "Why does it say, 'Do not attempt contact'?" Then the posts started disappearing, not removed by moderators. Accounts went inactive. One woman said she lived 2 houses down from the address. She hadn't heard sirens, no police cars, no activity. But when she looked outside, there were tire tracks in the snow, not fresh, compressed deep, like something heavy had been parked there for a long time, facing her house. People began searching the name, Michael R. Turner. Too many results, too common. Until someone narrowed it by county records. There was only one matching that address. Age 42, no criminal record, no emergency flags. Last public record update 4 years ago. At 2:19 a.m., a second alert arrived. Shorter, colder. This alert was not meant for you. No explanation, no apology. Immediately after, cellular service dropped. Not fully, just enough. Calls failed, messages stuck sending, internet crawled. Phones still powered on, but it felt like something had stepped between people. A man in Pennsylvania recorded his screen. He refreshed the alert details. They changed. The name was gone, replaced with his own. Subject, David L. Hawkins. Below it, his home address. Correct, down to the apartment number. He didn't post again, but his video circulated. In it, you can hear him breathing fast. He says, "That's not public, that's not anywhere." Then his phone buzzes, another alert. The screen cuts to black. Others checked. Some saw nothing new. Some saw addresses that weren't theirs. Parents' homes, ex-partners, places they hadn't lived in years. Always tied to a name, always exact. A theory formed quickly that the alert system wasn't malfunctioning, it was routing something. One former telecom employee commented anonymously, "Emergency alerts can target regions, they can't target individuals like this." Another replied, "Unless it's not the system doing the targeting." At 2:31 a.m., power flickered in several areas. Not out, just a dip. Enough to reset clocks, enough to make houses feel momentarily hollow. People described the same sensation, like the alert had created a hole and something was checking to see who noticed. One person lived near Willow Creek Road. He drove past the address. The house was dark, snow undisturbed, but his phone buzzed as he slowed down. Not an alert, a message, no number. "You are too close." He didn't stop the car. He didn't look back. Later, reviewing his dash cam footage, he noticed something. In the reflection of his windshield, a figure standing where the driveway should have been. Tall, still, facing the road. At 2:47 a.m., a final alert was issued, nationwide. No sound, just text. Subject located. No further action required. That should have been reassuring. It wasn't, because immediately after, phones began updating. Contacts rearranged themselves. Names disappeared. One woman said her husband's contact name changed to previous subject. He was sitting next to her, alive, confused. Service returned slowly after 3 a.m. Official statements followed in the morning. Test error. Unauthorized access. No personal data was compromised. They said the name and address reports were fabricated, mass hysteria. But people kept screenshots, videos, logs. Here's the detail that doesn't fit. Every person whose name appeared in an alert, even briefly, reported the same thing later. A gap. Time they couldn't account for. Minutes, sometimes hours, always during the outage window. And Michael R. Turner? No one has been able to confirm he exists anymore. The house on Willow Creek Road is still there, but county records now list it as vacant. No previous owner, no sale history, as if it had always been empty. Some people believe the alert wasn't a warning. It was a transfer, a system designed to identify one person at a time. And when something went wrong, it showed the cue. Because emergency alerts aren't just for weather. They're for threats. And that night, the threat wasn't outside. It was being reassigned. If you ever receive an alert with a name instead of instructions, and that name is yours, don't respond. Don't call anyone. And don't try to prove it's a mistake. Because the moment the system realizes you noticed, you become the subject it was always looking for. It started as a joke, a normal winter thing. Kids in a quiet neighborhood built a snowman in the front yard just before sunset. Carrot nose, stick arms, an old scarf. Nothing unusual. The parents took photos. Someone waved at it from the porch. By nightfall, it was just another shape in the snow. The house had a security system. Door camera, driveway camera, side yard. Motion activated, always recording. At 1:12 a.m., the system flagged movement. Not an alert, just a log entry. When the footage was reviewed the next morning, the first clip showed the snowman exactly as it had been left. Same angle, same scarf hanging loose. Wind pushed snow across the ground. Everything normal. Then, at 1:14 a.m., a second clip started. The snowman was still there, but its head was turned slightly. Not fallen, not slumped, turned, facing the house. At first, the father assumed the kids had touched it again, but the timestamp said otherwise. Everyone had been asleep, and the camera hadn't recorded anyone entering the yard. At 1:16 a.m., the next clip played. This time, the change was obvious. The head had rotated farther. The carrot nose pointed directly at the front door. The stick arms hadn't moved, only the head. The footage had no jump cuts, no skipped frames. The snowman didn't blur or glitch. It didn't move quickly. It simply changed position between clips, as if it had turned when the camera wasn't looking. At 1:19 a.m., the system recorded again. The snowman was closer. Not by much, maybe a foot, but enough to notice. The base looked slightly disturbed, snow compressed beneath it. The mother noticed something else. There were no footprints, not around it, not leading to it. The snow was smooth except for where the snowman stood. They checked the rest of the footage. At 1:23 a.m., the camera activated again. The snowman's head was now tilted, angled upward, as if it were looking into the second-floor window, the children's room. The father paused the video, zoomed in. That's when he saw it. The scarf. It was tighter, pulled closer around the neck area, as if something had adjusted it. At 1:26 a.m., the snowman was gone. The yard was empty. Just a mound of disturbed snow where it had been. No collapse, no scattered pieces. It hadn't fallen. It had been removed. The parents rushed outside. The cold hit hard. The yard was silent. The place where the snowman had stood was bare, but something else was there. Footprints. Bare footprints. Small, child-sized, pressed deep into the snow, leading away from the empty spot. They didn't lead to the street. They didn't lead to the sidewalk. They led toward the house. The prints stopped inches from the front door. No return tracks, nothing going back, as if whatever made them had simply disappeared. The kids were still asleep, both accounted for. No frostbite, no marks, no memory of being outside. The footage was sent to a neighborhood group chat. Someone joked about editing. Someone said it was fake. Then another neighbor replied, "I have footage too." 2 houses down, a different camera had caught something around 1:30 a.m. Not a snowman, a shape moving slowly across the edge of the frame. White, tall, out of focus. At 1:34 a.m., that camera caught it clearly. A figure walking across the snow-covered lawn. No coat, no shoes, bare feet leaving shallow prints. Its arms hung stiff at its sides, its head tilted at an unnatural angle. The camera couldn't capture facial details, but its outline was wrong. Too rounded, too smooth, like packed snow that hadn't fully melted into a human shape. At 1:37 a.m., the figure stopped, turned, and looked directly at the camera. The footage froze for 3 frames, then resumed. The figure was gone. Only the footprints remained, ending abruptly in the middle of the yard. More neighbors checked their recordings. Someone found a clip of their back gate opening at 1:41 a.m. No one visible. Another camera showed snow being displaced, as if something heavy had stood there for a moment. One house had no footage at all between 1:10 a.m. and 2 a.m. The files existed, but the video was empty. No image, just sound, wind, a faint dragging noise, and something like slow breathing. The police were called. They came. They shrugged. No forced entry, no signs of trespassing. They suggested kids from another street, a prank. But that night, the temperature dropped further. And in the morning, new snow had fallen, fresh, undisturbed, except for footprints, bare, appearing in driveways, in backyards, on porches, always facing houses, never leaving them. One family found something else, a scarf, wet, stiff with ice, hanging from a tree branch outside their child's window, the same scarf from the snowman. They checked the footage. At 2:02 a.m., something stood beneath the window, looking up, not moving, not blinking, just waiting. After that night, people stopped building snowmen. Not officially, it just stopped happening. Parents told kids not to, without explaining why, because once you see the footage, you notice a pattern. Snowmen that face houses, snowmen that look at windows, snowmen that disappear without falling apart. And sometimes, if you check your cameras carefully, you'll see it. A shape standing where there shouldn't be one, still, white, watching. If you ever find bare footprints in the snow and they don't lead away, don't follow them, and don't check the cameras alone, because whatever learned how to stand still in the cold is still learning how to move, and it remembers the houses where it was built. It was the kind of winter hike people only attempt once. The snow was deep, the trees heavy with frost. The wind cut through every layer of clothing. We were hours from the last marked trail. Phones showed nothing, no GPS signal, just white, endless forest. We saw it at first as a glow, a small light flickering through the dark trunks, too steady to be a reflection, too warm to be a fire caught on the snow. We told ourselves it was a cabin someone had forgotten to mark, maybe hunters, maybe a ranger post. As we got closer, the snow underfoot became trampled. Not ours, not recent hikers, fresh, leading directly to the light. Footsteps crunching in deep snow. The cabin itself was small, wooden, rustic, smoke curling from a short chimney, windows glowing golden, a wreath on the door. It was welcoming, too welcoming. We hesitated. One of us joked, maybe it's a vacation rental. Another said, there's no road, there's no driveway. The third remained silent. We stepped onto the porch. Door creaking slightly under weight. Inside, it smelled of wood smoke and roasting meat. The table had plates, bread, soup, steam rising gently from a pot, like someone had just stepped away. Fresh footprints led from the door to the table. Bare, small, not ours. And yet the chairs had been pushed out as if people had been sitting all around the table. A notebook lay on the counter. No pen, no writing, just pages blank, save for one sentence scrawled at the top of the first page. Do not stay past the firelight. We laughed nervously. The thought of some local prankster crossed our minds. But there was no road, no tracks other than the ones in snow leading to the cabin. No one had followed. No one had left. The wind outside began to howl. We turned to the windows. The forest looked endless. Shadows moved where shadows shouldn't. Branches scraping, wood creaking against each other. One of us, trying to lighten the mood, grabbed a plate. The food was warm, fresh, like it had been prepared moments ago. Yet no one had been seen. No signs of living presence. We sat, eating slowly, talking quietly, laughing less with every bite. Then the temperature dropped suddenly. Not outside, inside. The warmth of the cabin receded, like someone had turned a dial. We noticed then the fireplace. Logs were burning, but the flames flickered in odd ways, not like normal fire. The shadows on the wall stretched unnaturally. A soft crackle of the fire. Footsteps. Outside? Inside? We froze. The tables, chairs shifted slightly. No one touched them, nothing visible. Then the notebook slid across the counter, slowly, smoothly, landing near the edge. We stared. No wind inside, no drafts, no movement we could see. A sound came from the back of the cabin. Soft, a whisper, a quiet scratching against wood. We followed it toward the small bedroom. The door was closed. A light glowed beneath it. Inside, a small bed had been slept in. Blankets pulled back, pillow indented, like someone had been lying there very recently. A set of footprints led from the bed to the window, bare, small, and perfectly formed. We backed away, hearts racing, breath steaming, hands shaking. One of us said, "This isn't real. This can't be real." Outside, the snow began to fall harder, each flake catching the porch light, glittering, distorting. And then we saw it. Footprints leading away from the cabin. Bare, small, stopping just at the edge of the trees, like someone vanished into the forest. We left the food, left the notebook, stepped back into the snow. Our prints were the only ones visible now. And when we looked back, the cabin was gone. No walls, no smoke, no light, only trees, endless snow. We ran, hours back to the trail, phones still dead, nothing to mark our path. It was impossible. We knew where we had been. We could remember the exact location. And yet, the cabin wasn't there. Neighbors, locals, and hikers later said the same thing. A cabin that appears only in winter, visible to some, never on maps, never photographed reliably. And everyone warned, if you find it, do not stay past the firelight. Some returned in the daytime. Snow flattened, forest empty. Only a faint disturbance in the snow where footprints had been. No cabin, no fire, no traces of food. The notebook, plates, and fresh footprints remained in memory. No one else could confirm them. People say it chooses who sees it. Those who enter sometimes disappear, sometimes return, changed, quiet, looking at the snow in ways they didn't before. We never spoke about it publicly, but the memory haunts us. And every winter, we check the woods, just in case. And sometimes, when the wind shifts just right, we swear we see a light flickering through the trees, waiting. If you ever find a cabin that wasn't on any map, do not enter, do not touch the food, and do not stay past the firelight, because it is warm, it is inviting, and it is not meant for you.